Your aquatic pets deserve expert care, and that's exactly what they'll get with Fly In Vet. Dr. Becker is a board-certified aquatic veterinarian who brings her expertise right to your door. She uses state-of-the-art WaterLink spin disc technology to test your pond or aquarium on site, getting you fast, accurate results. Ensure your aquatic pets are healthy with Fly In Vet's mobile veterinary services in Boise. Act now. Call 208-260-0327 or visit flyinvet.com. Safeguard your fish's health with Fly In Vet. Today on CityCast Boise. We might be known for our casual, laid-back vibes, but that doesn't mean our city's fashion scene falls flat. We're exploring expert styling tips to help you tap into your personal style and build an authentic wardrobe. It's Thursday, September 25th. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about. Laura Tully, a personal wardrobe stylist, is with us today to talk fall fashion and the best local places to shop. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
When people ask you to describe Boise's fashion scene, where do you even start?
I would say it's very eclectic. I think, I think it's interesting because I feel like when people think about Boise and fashion, they don't think that those two kind of like mesh, which is so interesting to me because I kind of like live the experience of all things style here in Boise. And it's definitely here, fashion and style. What's cool about Boise is that like there's really no like prescribed one way of saying what Boise style is. And I think that's okay because I think it's evolving and changing and becoming more of a like, I'm just gonna kind of do my own thing, which I really love.
And what trends are you seeing locally that feel unique to Boise compared to other cities or other places in the Mountain West?
I would say, honestly, it's a really cool mix of vintage styling. So I see a really cool blend of thrifted pieces, vintage style, mixed with more modern, everyday pieces. So, you'll see like a cool, like, maybe it's vintage like tweed jacket with, barrel jeans and, some chukkas or like, so it's just very mixed.
Yeah, so there's not just a one trend that everybody's kind of following. It seems like you said earlier, we're all just kind of whatever you put together, whatever feels right for the situation.
Yeah, yeah. And when I go to LA or, like you just travel to a bigger city, there's definitely something familiar, It's great style, but there's like a through line. Like I feel like in LA, they've got this like really cool, like minimalist in this like edgy way. And you kind of see that throughout a lot of the looks that you see. And it makes me go like, ooh, I like that. Or you can kind of like pull from it. And I think that in Boise, like if you're just walking down, downtown and you see like 5 or 6 different people, they all kind of like look their own kind of way,
Yeah, yeah.
Which is really kind of cool.
Well, and I would also say Boise skews pretty casual when it comes to fashion. So how do you suggest people balance comfort and style, or some ways that people can dress in a way that feels authentic to them?
I feel like when we think of style, it just sounds so fancy, And I think that real style, the one that serves us, the one that allows us to show up fully in who we are, is what supports us. And that means like you can feel comfortable in what you wear and still be stylish. And I get this a lot with clients who either they live here in Boise or they're moving to Idaho and Boise has a casual, laid back vibe. And they're like, I just don't want to seem too much, or is this too extra for where we are? But I think at the end of the day, it's really about like, how do you want to show up, And I think that is what influences culture. I think that's what allows us to tap into not everyone looking the same. Because I think if you step into it thinking like, oh, I need to just be a part of what is, I don't think we grow as like a cool, evolving city. I think that uniqueness or just you feeling like, oh, this feels like me, even though I don't see anyone else like rocking these type of looks. I think that is a service to the style arena. And I feel like it inspires other people to go like, oh, that's kind of interesting and cool. Oh, I want to like when Treeford happened. It was so good because I felt
Yeah.
like people just like gave themselves permission to show up wearing what they felt great and alive and had fun with style. And I feel like sometimes the idea is that that has to be like quarantined to a certain type of environment. And I think that back to what I was saying about real style is about what allows you to just feel like yourself and allows you to show up fully in that version. And I think that that's part of like playing with style, trying something new and mixing it up. Um, but I feel like comfort doesn't have to be separate from having style. I think that when we dress for the life we have and we have pieces that allows us to like walk out the door and meet up with our friends and feel good in what we're wearing and we're not worrying about shifting and adjusting, when we're not so focused on like, how am I supposed to look? How am I supposed to be in what I'm wearing? I think it gives us some space to just have some fun with style and getting dressed.
I really like that because I think for myself sometimes fashion and styling can feel complicated or I can see like, okay, this is maybe something on trend or, I like these pieces, but just kind of I think sometimes I find that I feel most comfortable when it's a piece I like that feels really good on my body and I enjoy wearing it out. And then that is maybe when I feel most stylish and most comfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start that journey today? I'm CityCast CEO David Plotz, and I'm learning Spanish with Babbel. Babbel's conversation-based technique quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. I've been practicing my Spanish with Babbel's AI conversation partner. I can choose my conversation topic and have a real-time dialogue. It's great at helping me think on my feet, and it's improving my pronunciation. Also, it's really easy to do anytime on my phone using Babbel's excellent mobile app. It's just one of the many fantastic Babbel tools for learning. Plus, Babbel has a real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations, all of which make it really easy to stay motivated to learn. I want you to learn another language. So CityCast is teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Well, Laura, it's officially fall. So, what are you most excited to see in fall wardrobes? Or what items do you think are essential for a great fall wardrobe in Boise?
I'm excited to see color, actually. These like really cool, rich browns and burgundy and plums and hunter green. I'm excited to see these like rich tones come in. And layering in Boise is kind of cool because we really do get all the seasons here. And when it's fall, it's fully fall. So you can like layer in this really, really fun way, with like your lightweight sweater and like a cool like, utility jacket and your jeans and like rock some combat boots or some like kitten heel boots. Like, I mean, you could just have so much fun with layering. I'm a huge fan of layering.
So if someone was looking to add maybe a couple of new pieces to their wardrobe this season, what are some local shops or local places you would recommend that they definitely check out?
I love, I feel like Shift Boutique has some really cute stuff. I love Piece Unique. I think they have a really good range of high-end pieces, but also like affordable style, and it's really varied. I love Salt. I think she has some really cool, for both men and women, really high-end, nice styles. I'd say Ever Eve is pretty cool too. I feel like they have that's in the village. I feel like they have like some good options as far as like variety. So even if like me and my girlfriend have completely different style, I feel like we could both go in there and find something. I like Madewell. I think they have good jeans because I feel like denim is like always that thing where you're just like, I just want a pair of jeans that makes me just feel really good. And then I'm just gonna buy two.
Yes. Oh, I've gone to Madewell for jeans. Those like there's nothing when you have a pair of jeans and you just feel like $1,000,000 in it, you can wear it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's maybe my staple in my wardrobe. Like the perfect jeans.
Oh, it's a game changer. And that's what's so cool about living in Boise too. I mean, I feel like because we have this like more laid back vibe, you can be, you can rock your jeans with a blazer, with a sweater, with a silk blouse, or like with a plaid shirt. I mean, it's endless. I mean, you have all the options.
It's a day to night piece in Boise for sure.
It's a day to night piece for sure. Yeah.
What are some affordable ways that people could maybe play with some fall trends, play with the changing seasons without having to overhaul their whole closet?
I would first start off with like, have you done an edit in your closet? I think sometimes we just don't even know what we have. We're like, I think I need some new stuff because the season shifts, but have we really slowed down and looked through our closet to see what we have? Because I think sometimes when the seasons change, we feel like we have to go get something, but actually shopping your closet first and seeing what you have. And you'll be surprised if you actually say, okay, I'm going to take out all of my long sleeve, all of my sweaters, anything that's like a fall winter style, and like lay it out on the bed. You could group it by item or style, and actually really see what you own. Because I feel like a lot of people really don't realize the volume of things they actually have, and it becomes less about what do I need to bring in, and it's more focused on the clarity of like, oh my gosh, this is what I own, this is what I have. And then the question after that, try them on. And if you're like, I hate this, why do I even have this, um it's really like getting clear on like if you even like the piece, period, so trying it on and seeing if it works for you. And if not, that's really good information for you to go out and buy intentionally, as opposed to, I think I need like a chocolate brown sweater. It's like, let's start from what we have and get some real information about what serves us currently in our closet and what doesn't, so that when you go out to either shop or thrift, you're really coming from a place of like clarity, as opposed to like, I think I want something cute.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic advice. Once I was having an event and I was like, I need this certain type of shoe. I absolutely need to go get it. Ran out and got it. Came back, brought it home, was putting them in my little shoe cartons I have. And
Yeah.
I had the exact same pair of shoes that I had bought like 6 months earlier. And I just forgot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So that is a great piece of advice for me because I accidentally bought the exact same shoes
Yeah,
twice.
exactly.
That's why they're in my head. I was like, I love these shoes. And then I
Yeah.
bought them
You're
again.
like, I need these. And you're like, oh, clearly I need them because now I have two.
What are a couple of simple swaps that people can make to refresh their wardrobe? So it doesn't just feel like, I know sometimes I feel like I'm just wearing the same things over and over and over. What are some ways to mix it up or some pieces I could look for to make everything feel fresh without having to, buy a whole bunch of new things?
Yeah. My first is like, especially with fall, is a really good color in a sweater. So whether it's a crew neck or V-neck, just bringing in a tone that you're like, this is so yummy on me with my jeans, right?
Mhm.
Can like really just like refine and elevate what you have. So whether it's a wool cashmere blend or full cashmere or cotton cashmere, just get some like yumminess in that sweater is what I'm saying. My second thing is like layering piece. So a jacket, like a utility jacket, a cool like crop trench, or even like a thrifted denim jacket can just like that slightly oversized can take an outfit from like just basic to just look just more cool and elevated. And also back to the jeans situation, maybe have some more experimentation with like a type of denim fit, whether it's like if you normally just do straight leg, maybe try like a slightly wide leg. If you don't want to explore barrel style, maybe just like the wide leg or a high waist, slightly baggy denim would be something that you could explore. But just shifting and like my thing with style is always about like exploration and also collecting information. So I think sometimes we think that, like, oh, if I like something, that is enough information for me to like proceed with like developing my sense of style. But actually, developing your sense of style means finding out so much more information about yourself. So it's less about the nuance and more clarity on like why something works on you. And I feel like that those are those little shifts that helps you bring in pieces that just make you like have more confidence in how you choose things.
Laura, since I have you here, can I ask what is your number one piece of advice for someone who is interested in leveling up or they've been listening to this conversation and they're like, oh, I just don't know. I don't know what my personal style is. How can they find that?
The first starting point is about you, right? There's always this like idea that style is going to come from the outside towards us. And, the way I work with clients, like I don't believe that. I feel like you are the starting point. And so it's about getting information about yourself. Like, do you know your measurements? Do you know your inseam, your bust, your waist, your rise, your band? Like all these numbers that seem like not important are actually really important because they're about you, not about the model that's on the website or something you saw on Pinterest. They're about you. So the starting point is collecting information about yourself so that you can start to understand why something works really well on you. A rise, so that your rise is from your belly button to your crotch. It's gonna give that number is gonna like give you some really good information about where you want your jeans and your pants to hit. And then you're gonna go, okay, I have a 9-inch rise. Let me try mid-rise to high-rise denim and see what the sweet spot is for me, right? So that you're no longer just like cast in the net for style. You're kind of just like bullseyeing. And that's where that confidence becomes better and better at refining and developing your sense of style. And I feel like once we kind of like hone into that and get grounded in like, oh my gosh, I just need to like understand what works on me and collect information about myself and have a full length mirror so that you can see your whole body and see how things lay on you. And the focus here is on how things fit you, not so much like this is the size that I wear. Because fit, understanding like, okay, this lays on my hip a certain way. But if it's too much fabric, maybe I'm going to get the waist taken in, and so that it lays well on my hips. So when it comes to like, the focus is really on how things fit you, not so much the letter size or the number. Because if your focus is on the fit, then you're understanding the data about your body again. And it's not so much like these jeans don't work on my body, right? The huge difference is that you're not outsourcing how you feel about your body to clothing that isn't serving you.
I love that. I love that way of looking at it, especially now with all the brands where you can go into 4 different stores and have 12 different sizes fit. And it just sometimes feels like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Laura, you've been hosting Sip and Style events to connect with the community and dive into a variety of conversations about style and fashion in Boise. Why do you feel like it's important to create a space for these conversations? And what have you learned about the community at these events?
So the first thing is we're gathered together. That's the first part. And it's free for the community. So it's not about like, do I fit into this space? Is this for me? It doesn't have any of these like parameters about who gets a seat at the table. It's just like everyone is welcome. And I think when it comes to style, there's so many different elements to how style can be a tool in how we show up. And what I've seen in the Sip and Styles I've hosted so far is that we just have an amazing community of people of all ages, of all sizes, of all gender. And so with each Sip and Style, I wanted to dive into like a different topic. Like a couple of the ones that we've done where we dove into how thrift and vintage shopping can help you really develop your sense of style, because there's so many components of like how it slows you down into through the just selecting, just choosing, just picking out things. And there's no template, right? Because it's stuff, right? And you have to kind of peruse through it as opposed to here it is all shiny waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
And I think it lends to not just us paying attention to our own personal consumption, but also to the agency that we get to develop about like, what do I actually like? And how do I separate it from the noise or the influence or even things I'm inspired by, just like kind of building our own scope when it comes to what we like for ourselves.
Laura, thank you so much. I really appreciate your insight and your tips and your advice. Thank you so much for taking time to come on the show today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful.
That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the episode, that's a great reason to become our newest CityCast Boise neighbor. Join at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our Friday news roundup. You won't want to miss it.